know what, Lorenzo, sorry,
Mhm.
Mapalo, when a young man says something like that, you ought to take them seriously
Yeah.
because there's a lot of things that are happening out there, and it just gives me hope and happiness this morning to hear Mapalo speak about God, because before you know it, our children have been so confined to phones and
All
what's
sorts of
happening
crazy things around the world,
exactly.
yeah.
But it's really encouraging. I'm happy, Mapalo. Whatever you are trying to achieve in life, please just know that without God, you cannot achieve those
Indeed,
things. Yes.
indeed.
So for you mentioning just God, just know you are halfway already to your victory.
Amen. Amen.
Pretty much good, and we're truly grateful. All right, but we definitely have a lot to look at on the program today. Interesting matchups. We have one key one taking place on the local front. Let's talk about the games.
Yes.
Before we get to the Premier League, La Liga, and so on and so forth. In La Liga, there's Derby El Clasico.
Lorenzo,
There's
a gentleman called Matthews Kawamba.
Yes.
Matthew Kawamba,
who has put up a very ugly headline against Mighty Muflira.
Oh yeah, and he's listening into this program as
he says Choma
Yes.
side welcomes basement Mighty. Surely, come on. That's so ugly, Matthew. Seriously.
Wow.
How do you?
You're not having it
come on.
anymore.
the league doesn't lie.
Yeah.
If according to the log, Muflira Wanderers are on the best.
Yes.
Give
Their
Numbers
basement,
don't
give
lie.
respect, man. Come on. You can't
But
Numbers
say
don't lie.
they should play according.
Mighty.
Yeah, they're on the basement. Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. They're on the
That's a
basement.
mean headline, Matthew. Seriously.
They're on the basement. That's the truth of the matter. They're on the basement. So he may just have nailed it, considering that Mighty Mufulira Wanderers are not firing on all cylinders.
No.
Let's
Not
start with
at
that
all.
before we talk about the other
Not-
games.
Not at all. Although when
You
Coach
you told us
yeah,
TC is
TC
in
came
charge.
in, he stabilized the ship.
Mhm.
We got 3 draws in a row.
Mhm.
I was thinking that when they went to Kansanshi Dynamos and they drew 1-1,
Mhm.
I was thinking the next one now they were going to win.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, it never happened. Hoping that Coach TC has looked through and seen where the weakness is.
Mhm.
Personally, I feel that the midfield is a little bit weak.
Mhm.
The only strong person we have there is Kasonde. And as you know, Kasonde is in the afternoon of his career.
Mhm.
So I believe he's tiring quickly.
Mhm.
And that is what is making our midfield weak, because he's the defensive midfielder there and a very key person in the game. So I hope that Coach TC can do something about that position and because we have two midfielders, great midfielders, but they're in the afternoon of their career, Sitari and Kasonde.
Mhm.
So it would be good for the coach to quickly identify those that still have the energy to position them in those places so that Mighty can pick up. The defense is not very bad. We may be leaking goals, but we are not very bad. For me, the thing I'm seeing is that the midfield is a little bit weak. We have a good goalkeeper. Titima has done great ever since he came in, and we hope that the coach can consolidate on that backline that he has formed so far, and then improve the midfield, and also find a striker, someone who can finish up, because chances are created. I mean, we have a great captain, although even him, he's in the afternoon of his career as well. But he's still robust. I mean, he runs. He's positioning himself so well. He's strong, and I believe he's leading by example. And we hope that from there we can consolidate and start posting positive results. But Coach TC has done quite well, despite us not picking up positive results ever since he came in.
Okay, all right. So Kawa Youth Soccer Academy plays Napsa Stars at 13 hours at the Godfrey Yuka Chitalo Stadium. This game is live on Super Sport, ladies and gentlemen. And then we have Kawa Warriors playing Nakambala Leopards at the Godfrey Yuka Chitalo Stadium, also live on Super Sport. The Red Arrows play Lusaka Dynamos at Nkoloma Stadium this afternoon at 15. Green Eagles plays Andrews Mufulira Wanderers at Independence
yeah,
Stadium
my
in Musanze. All right, and it's Andrews Mufulira Wanderers.
Andrews Mfulira Wanderers. Don't touch.
All right, then now we have Mkwazi playing Green Buffaloes at Adrian Imboila Stadium. This game also kicks off at 15. Then Sunday, tomorrow sees Forest Rangers play Lumwana Radiance. Top of the pile, league leaders, Forest Rangers playing Lumwana at Estadio de la Ley, live on Super Sport.
Rubbing it in.
Yeah, league leaders.
Really feels
League
awkward.
leaders. Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations,
Congratulations
Zafico boys.
to the
I didn't see it
boys.
coming, you know.
Neither did I. Neither did I.
You know,
The other
nowadays
TC.
football is very
Doing
Other
well.
TC.
Yeah.
it's very unpredictable. The underdogs, they upset, you know,
Exactly,
the usual ones
exactly.
where you know you can read the table to say, okay,
Yeah.
number one will be Zesco, number two. Look at Zesco, what is happening right now. So
Yeah.
you really have to be steady at who you talk about. Leave upside down.
It's incredibly surprising because I expected them to struggle
Yes.
after their two coaches,
Mhm.
Masauso and Perry Mutapa, were
Yes.
snatched
Yeah,
by
true.
Power
Yes.
Dynamos. So congratulations to the Zafico boys. They're really doing well and
Yeah,
playing
why
some good
not?
football. The other TC has made an impact, eh?
You see, that TC was
For
doing
Lemalembe.
Yeah.
was doing so well at Kawewa.
Yes.
I mean, in the transition league, he lost the league right at the last
The
day,
end.
on the
yeah,
last day. So
Mhm.
he's another revolutionary coach, if I may call him that
want
way.
to look at him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he plays a very different brand of football,
Mhm.
which we are seeing in the Forest Rangers.
Mhm.
I mean, they are exciting to watch.
Yeah.
They are playing very, very good football.
Mhm.
So it's good to see that those that we were calling underdogs are actually picking up and competing for great positions.
The top
in
dogs now.
Yeah.
Forest. Wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jerry Mapalo made a point that we expected them to struggle when they lost their two coaches to
Yeah,
Power Dynamos. But look at where they are, and then we may probably have thought it was the coaches that were making them tick. Maybe the team is just good enough to compete at the highest level.
Yeah, I actually had the same view. I said, oh, Forest now are in trouble. A good coach in Perry and his assistant, Masauso, have abandoned the team.
Mhm.
What's going to happen to them? But to the contrary, they've performed. There goes Tenant Chilumba.
Mhm.
Strength, stabilized the ship, made them perform. Now they are topping the league. Well done to Forest Rangers there from my hometown, Ndola.
Mhm.
Hope that they continue leading the table and they finish in the top places, if not as champions at the end of the season.
And make the town proud.
So maybe the coach comes in with a new philosophy, tweaks a few things, and then he makes the team perform.
Yeah, probably.
New ideas, yeah.
Mhm.
But he's a seasoned coach, so credit to him.
Then we have a big one. Zesco United playing Power Dynamos at Estadio de la Levy. Lucy, you remember the previous caller was Zesco?
Yes.
He was actually complaining and shouting to the hills that this team, Zesco United, is coming back. Well, we hope they definitely do come back.
I
But
hope
against
so
Power
too.
Dynamo,
with Forest Rangers playing so well, forget it.
Why do you
Forget
say
it.
so?
Forget it.
but
Let's go.
well,
They-
maybe the
you
gentleman
never-
can tell us
Yes,
what could be
yes,
wrong with
yes,
Zesco
please
United.
tell us.
What has
I want to
happened?
know.
The Midas touch. Chicken
Yes.
George has lost the Midas touch over the team. What could be going haywire or sideways?
Mhm. And-
Simple reason, Lorenzo. It's just familiarity.
Mhm.
You think no matter what you win, even today we can win. I mean, Chingambo, Apa, and whoever, and guys go,
Okay.
let's go and win.
Mhm.
Simple familiarity.
It's got into their head.
So
Yeah.
why if they were able to juggle themselves up here and there, they had a lot of youngster players who have scampered in all directions. They were keeping them on the bench. Why didn't they utilize those youngsters? I mean, yes, you can have all these big names, and that's why for me, if you ask me, Lorenzo, I am not a fan of these so-called professional players from other countries coming into Zambia and relegating our very own into the bench just
Yeah.
because of the tag foreigner. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. A coach who is worth his salt will actually assess a player. It doesn't matter where that player is coming from, and give a chance to a player who is be able to perform and deliver.
Mhm.
And the
I
funny
keep-
thing is, sorry, Andrew. The funny thing is, Zesco started the season so well. I think they won 7 or 8 straight games, and people are already saying, they'll retain the
That's
championship.
the complacency I'm talking about.
So complacency is setting, and then the team probably they didn't get some new
Recruitment was
faces.
bad.
Yeah, they didn't really recruit to the in the best manner, and there they are. They are struggling. It's difficult to see them reclaiming the title the way things are going.
But when you say recruitment was very bad, correct me if I'm wrong. I want to believe teams have a reserve, like you're grooming, you're moving from,
And Zesco has several reserves,
Yes, so
not just one.
what's the problem? If we are going to mention things like recruitment, have they stopped looking at their reserve, or they're looking into foreign camps? Please elaborate more. I would like personally to really understand, because Zesco has been a good team with good results.
It's the point. My daddy here, Andrew, brother Andrew, just brought up. It's playing names in some way, because this league is very demanding, and they've got continental football as well. Kondwani Mtonga is also in the afternoon of his career, and this is someone who's Jacob Banda. They played week in, week out, and they lost. Is it Owino Odiambo?
Odiambo.
Yes, they lost Owino
key
Odiambo.
defender.
Yes, to Kaiser Chiefs. They didn't renew his contract, and they, as you said, they've also lost Shemi Mayembe, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's the playing of names really that has it's sort of affected Zesco, and people know how they go about. An example again I would give is in England with Man City. People say they couldn't maintain that level for about 3 seasons without someone figuring out how to stop them. It's the same with Zesco. And after winning those first 6-7 games, looking like it's going to be a one-horse race again, people have figured out. People have gotten better. People have recruited. So on their part, I think they needed to, if it's recruitment, they needed to solidify the midfield, get more legs in the midfield, because Konwani Mtonga, the rest of these guys, they're a bit leggy now, if you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, I think they didn't recruit in the right areas. They ended up getting a few more strikers, which was wrong on Chicken George's part, according to my own opinion.
Okay, all right. So we wish Zesco a quick recovery from that downward spiral. But Zesco, please, you have to come back pretty soon. All right, I refer to the call.
A few things actually, Lorenzo. Even the shake-up at the technical bench would at some point was going to affect Zesco. You remember we said here that TC did very well, but they decided to get rid of him and go back to Chicken George. So to me, it looked like they wanted to go backwards instead of moving forward. So we even say sooner rather than later it was going to catch up with them, and this is what we are seeing today.
Okay.
So if they need to change their fortunes, there's a lot of things they need to do, and they're a top club, so they can't sit and fold their arms and say no. Sooner rather than later things will change. Impossible. They need to work at it.
Okay, let me get this call. All right.
Feedback.
Please reduce the volume on your radio.
They switch it off completely.
Oh my goodness. Please, when you call in, reduce the volume on your radio. We had terrible feedback. 0960 200 490. That is 0960 200 490. Okay, let me try to get this one now. All right, you're through to Backpage. Vazega. We're just from talking about your club, Vazega. Okay.
Let me give an example. Since Cham was the best midfielder at Zesco United.
Yeah.
Abaman is Zico tried to fit in the shoes, but the shoes were too big. So Zesco got to go to the players. Then two, we were whereby we you use the same player.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
can Chip Maembe, Solomon Sakala,
Mhm.
Tembo, Rosie Chimandu, young players.
Mm.
That's all it is. What's the point of signing?
You see?
Then I think, as for me, my big man has done a lot. I think December grade 7, change the grade of grade 9. For me, I think he's understanding this, just trying to bring someone else. Then now,
Yeah, now Piamo Wasido.
let's go through a question because passport no longer showing captain. Now, how are we going to enjoy Chan as Zambia? So I wanted to find out from him what's the plan, what are they doing?
Okay.
The first one with our boys. So I often feel that way about it. But this colleague of their man.
Okay. All right. I guess he was listening in. If he texts me the answer, I'll definitely read it out on air. Thank you, Vazega. Okay. All right. Let me get one more before we have Lucy run us through the Premier League. 0960 200 490. Time check 12:23 Central African time. And let us get interactive right on the program. So that is 0960 200 490. And then we'll be able to put you through at a push of a button. Okay, you're through to Backpage. Your name and where you're calling us from?
This is Comrade Madrid.
Comrade Madrid.
Yes. How are you, Lorenzo?
I'm very well, thanks. And how are you, my dear comrade?
I'm very fine. How is everyone on the panel?
We are good.
great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
How are you?
Wow, I expect that program today to be discussing about the Zanaco game. So make sure that you leave some good time to market that game because it's the biggest game this weekend that we have.
Absolutely. Before the Premier League, we're definitely talking about it just now.
Yeah. We are all Zanaco one.
Nice one.
Yes, then I would like to wish Real Madrid all the best in tomorrow's game
Losers.
at the Santiago Bernabeu. We'll definitely carry the day.
Despite losing to Man City, yeah.
We have to Man City. It's in space.
We have a lady in the studio, so she might take offense.
Offended.
She's offended.
For that you will lose.
Retract.
For that you will lose the second leg.
Ah,
For now, let's do what is ahead of us, which is tomorrow's game against our young boys, Barcelona. So,
Musaluna.
2-0. Okay.
Barcelona.
Ah, we see. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, okay. So that was Comrade Madrid. We've been joined by the towering Zamjirian. Salute.
Hello, Zambia.
We're doing well.
How you guys
Welcome
doing,
yourself.
man? I'm so happy to be back. It's been 3,000 years.
You know what I mean? Eh?
Saturdays have been crazy. I'm so sorry.
Where have you been?
Yeah, please
I'm
answer
just-
Lucy. Where have
I
you been?
told you guys, I'm always solving Zambia issues. You know, it's,
Is he happy because the Carlos scored? Is that why
I
he's
was
so
about
happy?
to come and close. Because Lorenzo has not let me in yet. You know, I just want to do formalities and say I'm happy to be back with the family.
Yeah.
I hope
Happy to
you
have
guys
you
have
back.
been good and just be. I'm elated because anytime I'm back on this show, it's just a very very special time for me. For analysis, I don't really get that much time to speak during the week, but when I have friends that we can speak at length about sports and activities, I'm very honored, guys, man.
Awesome. We're glad to have you back.
Yeah.
All right, now we'll start with you, the Premier League, after Lucy runs us through the fixtures. But before Lucy runs us through the fixtures, Zanaco versus Pyramid FC of Egypt. What a game. Now, Andrew, Mapalo, Jerry, and also Emmanuel, you know what really makes my heart bleed is that we're playing the first leg at home. That is not the best way to approach North African opposition, you know, over a two-legged affair where you have to be knocked out. That puts you at a disadvantage, whether you like it or not. The advantage is always with the team that first plays away from home, and then the return leg, they use it to work on their mistakes they saw away from home, and then you're playing at home.
home ground advantage always counts in such
Yeah,
ties.
yeah, exactly.
Whereby
Yeah,
you're playing
yeah.
the second leg at home, you know what you have to do. Your fans are behind you, so
yeah, pretty hard.
it's a bit of a disadvantage. You're right.
I'm not being pessimistic, but I'm being realistic. Ladies and gentlemen, before Lucy gives us fixtures of the Premier League, that is one point of view I want to pick up our analysis to that game. And then we have Chris Kaunda weaving his magic pretty much well from the time he took charge. This Zanaco side is reinvigorated, rejuvenated. It's been born again, for lack of a better term. Let's pick it up from there.
You can even see him kneeling and praying to God heavily, as he prepares his charges. But indeed, it's a big disadvantage. But what Coach Chris, what I expect him to do is to be, adequately prepared. Because such fixtures, you encounter them sooner rather than later in the process of the competition. So you prepare adequately and psych the players that look, you guys, if we start this game at home, let us do our level best. Close up the defense and make sure that we pump in as many goals as possible. That is the only way they can be cushioned when they go away. Because North Africans, you beat them 1-0. You are basically, opening up a very, very big, problem for yourselves. So it would be very, very good if, Zanaco can actually, put as many goals as possible behind the back of the net for the Pyramids. And that is the only way that will cushion them when they go away. Because North Africans, you go into their backyard, they'll frustrate you. They'll be falling all over. They'll be doing all sorts of crazy things just to frustrate the flow of the game. And when the game is towards the end, then they'll come back, guns blazing, and they'll score 1 or 2 goals, and that's it. They close shop. So it's very, very important that Chris has been around for a while, that he psychs his players accordingly so that they can be up to the task. It's not an easy task, but I believe they can do it.
I think my advice would be. This is professional football, period. Like you said, this will happen sometime. You know, you will get a difficult, a fixture to play and also where you play it. But my takeaway from this is I like when you start a competition hard because it prepares you for anything after. If Zanaco gets an easy draw next, you will see that they are more charged because they have come from, difficulty, they have come from a lot of challenge. So I love when the competition starts and you don't get, what you want. It always pushes you further. And best believe Zanaco should win this tie. The next people they meet are in trouble because these guys are already hyped. These guys are already on the back foot. And whoever they're coming against is going to be a slug out fight. So I want them to understand that this is professional football and this will always happen. But see adversity as a solution. See adversity as a good start because it means that you are expecting the unexpected. When you already start in a very tough situation.
In a tough situation. All right, Jerry and Mapalo.
Coach Chris Kaunda has performed wonders from the time he took on the Zanaco job, replacing Mumamba Numba there. A lot of people were a bit skeptical when he came in. Does he have the pedigree to take on the Zanaco job? But there he is. He's done it. They've been climbing up the league table in the local league. And he's taken them through to this stage of the Confederations Cup. We watched the previous game against Motema Pembe. I met Chair there at the stadium, and it was really something. Going behind early in the game, but they kept on pushing, fighting until they scored 2 goals and they won it. And then they had to go to Morocco to get a result against Berkane, and they managed. Went behind, but equalized and then held on to get the draw that they needed because Pembe won their game against the other team from, is it?
SAE.
So he's managed to get them through, managed to get a draw in North Africa. So it's important that they get a result here in Zambia, at least score 2 goals or so if they can manage, more if possible. And then that side, at least hold on and play a tactical game that will make them go through. But it's very important that the fans come out. Tomorrow's game will be free of charge. Anyone can just go in so that the game will be packed. The fans should be behind the team so that at least the Moroccans can see the 12th man supporting the Zanaco team. and hopefully they're going to get a good result. So we're behind the team, and we we expect them to do well tomorrow.
Absolutely. All right. Okay. Now that probably takes us to the Premier League, and then we'll have to pick it up with Emmanuel and Mapalo. Lucy, how does the fixture look like
The
for today and tomorrow?
fixture looks like this. That is for Saturday. We have Brighton versus Crystal Palace playing at 14:30 hours. West Ham United playing Southampton at 17 hours. Newcastle United versus Burnley at 17 hours. AFC Bournemouth versus Chelsea at 17 hours. Watford versus Liverpool at 19:30. And tomorrow, Sunday, 1st of March, we have Manchester City versus Arsenal. This is going to be an early game.
Though it's been postponed.
It's been postponed.
Yeah.
Because of the
Okay.
Carabao Cup final.
Carabao Cup final. Yeah.
Then we have Tottenham versus Wolverhampton
And then the Everton
playing
one.
at 16 hours. Then we have Everton versus Manchester United.
You
at
almost skipped
16
their
hours.
game. Don't
I
kill
almost.
you.
So look at Emmanuel. It was deliberate. I just wanted to see your face. There he goes. He removed his glasses as well. So that's why I did that.
He's glaring at
Glaring
us.
at you.
Saka, this is what I suffer on the show.
They'll kill you.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Yeah, so that's.
They're not even in the top four, are they?
No, they're not.
well,
They're
yeah.
not. Then why are they making so much of the league
They
table?
feel relevant at the moment because of the two big
Why should we
wins.
even give their fixture? They're not even in the top
We are
four.
winning the
Don't
Europa.
make
Come
chair,
on.
make it
We are winning
fall.
the Europa
Don't
and we're
let
going to be in
chair
the
make
Champions
it fall
League
to
next
us
season.
and look at
Okay, Emmanuel,
say
let's
something.
start with you. But I want him to start with the Europa League
Yes,
tie.
yes.
Club Brugge.
Hey! My God is good. Hey.
What happened?
Now I told you guys that Manchester United are in the new field because of the players we bought. We signed rights for the first time in a very, very long time.
Very long time.
We got the players we need. These are not bench players that are just coming to field, start shit. These are players that are necessary.
Tell us.
Johnny Gallo, Nigerian repping, Niger boy.
Boy.
He's what we need.
Niger boy.
Why? Because Martial is a striker, who likes to come out the box, who likes to pick up play, build up play, let players run behind him. He likes to fall back to the wing because that's his natural position. Igalo is a striker. He stays in
box
the box.
fox.
He's a fox in the box. And the kind of goal he scored against Club Brugge shows that he's always there. I mean, Bruno Fernandes squared it to Wamata. Wamata put the ball back into, and he had two defenders behind him, but he was there first. It's a striker's instinct. That's good positioning.
Deadly instinct for a striker.
Igalo has brought, a new lease of life. Anyone has watched him from Chelsea's game, you see that his hold-up play is amazing. He's a really strong striker on the ball. And he's going to give us at least 7 goals. Because I know he's about to speak now. At least. Because Jerry is my main target. I came here for Jerry. It's the only reason I came for the show today. Guys, because Jerry was talking smart about my Igalo. So, I'm expecting Igalo to give at least 7 goals, and that's a whole lot.
It's only a Club Brugge,
That's-
guys. A Belgium team
He's
and the Europa
he's
League.
showing
wing.
us-
argue that Club Brugge drew with Real Madrid.
Thank you. They absolutely annihilated them. I mean, Real Madrid do not know what to do with them.
Lorenzo
Those-
can't even talk
Those
now.
two
He
strikers.
can't.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
no, what about if you win
How
a
many?
trophy?
Sorry, please just tell
It will be
Lusaka.
2 hours
Tell
of
Zambia
Emmanuel.
what the scoreline was.
win.
Tell
The
Zambia.
Europa is
No,
ours.
please let Jerry tell Zambia what the scoreline was.
Jerry,
please.
please take
Against
it.
Brugge.
No, they said and tell them, please. 5-0! 5-0, Zambia. 5. People that Lorenzo's boys struggling. Oh my Lord!
You'll be brought down to earth when you lose tomorrow.
Never. Everton, I couldn't. You see the Arsenal that
You
they
want
dumped
to
out.
So, Jerry, we are losing to who?
Let's talk next Saturday.
We are
When
losing.
things go haywire.
Jerry, we are losing to who?
Arsenal that they jumped out of
Everton.
You sure?
Ancelotti.
Arsenal that
You
they
sure?
jumped, they jumped out of the Europa League. Isn't that the Everton that Arsenal came back to destroy?
Arsenal beat you, didn't they?
Oh, sorry.
Convincing.
Do you realize how many big teams Man United has beaten this season? Can I count for you? I
It's okay.
Oh, fantastic. So please.
We were the first ones to take a
Points from
away
Liverpool.
from Liverpool.
Destroy Chelsea. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Correction.
That's the first one.
Correction.
Lampard needs
The only ones.
You see now.
Lampard is to step down.
It felt like a loss to us.
For what Ole has done to
It
Lampard
was
this
a loss
season.
indeed. It
Oh
was.
my God. Ole has sunned him 3 times.
3 times.
Oh my. So please, Manchester United, put some respect on our name.
Yeah,
I'm coming for this
yeah.
next.
Guys,
This
win
next,
has-
this next half of the season, Manchester United were pushing for top 4 places. We're also doing.
Don't
Well,
forget, you are the
we're
Robin
also
Hood of the
pushing-
EPL.
We're also pushing to
Definitely.
win
You
the
beat a
Europa,
big
don't
team.
forget.
Lose to a small one.
Yeah, honestly. But I
Top
think
four where,
we're playing
Emmanuel?
differently in the Premier League. I think top 5 still gives us a chance because of Manchester City's ban. So
It will be overturned.
it would not be overturned in the name of Jesus. But honestly, to answer your question, I think the signings have really showed out. Anybody can see Bruno Fernandes as one of the top, midfielders in the world right now. His classy, his quality. He's just brought a new lease of life to Manchester United. I was
Should
so
have
happy to
bought
have him.
Holland, huh?
Yes, I mean, imagine
Oh,
Holland.
that's the
in
player
our
you should have
front-
really
in our
put there as
front
your
line with Bruno
top man.
Fernandes playing number 10. So I just to answer your question, I'm so happy, and I'm sure Manchester United fans are very enthusiastic going into a game against Everton. I will be able to pull out a very interesting result. Obviously, Everton absolutely annihilated us last season, but I think Manchester United are playing.
It was 4-0 or
good
something.
football. Yeah, it was horrible.
Just bad, eh?
We're in good
To
form.
happen again tomorrow.
Oh my goodness. Liverpool, I need Liverpool to drop points so that Jerry cannot come. Because I'll be here on a Friday night waiting for a Saturday show. Liverpool drop this winless run. I cannot stand it. Oh my God. Yes, please take it away. Take it away.
Yeah, and someone was really happy that we lost to Atletico Madrid.
Extremely.
A certain Real Madrid
Oh,
fan.
yeah.
He was ecstatic. And then his team lost at home. He knows himself. He was so happy that we lost to Atletico. Then his own team were wired at home to Man City.
Simply half time. It's simply half time.
From behind.
Yeah, from the look of things. All right, so
And Ramos, red card. He won't play the second leg.
yeah, well, there are other 4 guys that will actually marshal that defense. All right, so not Jerry, Andrew on the Everton Man United game, then Mapalo and Jerry will talk about the Liverpool game
The
against
team which
Watford.
is breaking all the records.
It's always
Talk about that.
always been a tough encounter, Lorenzo. Everton and Manu. It's always been a tricky encounter for Manu. And I sincerely hope that Coach Babyface
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer
has this time around marshaled his forces properly so that when they go to Everton, they should be able to just come up with a positive
Man, you
result.
tried to bring in the coronavirus so that Liverpool could be denied their first title in 30 years. They brought in someone from China.
Zambia, this is not true. You have to stop listening to Jerry.
Really? It went that far.
So it's going to be a tough one, and I hope that the new players that have been added to the team can actually come to the party on that particular encounter.
Predictions for the game. You keep going around. Give us predictions.
Everton have got a world-class coach. Huh?
prediction.
Ancelotti. So, Carlo won the
But
Champions League 3 times.
he hasn't settled in yet.
Really?
He's not yet- he's
Look
not-
at Everton.
Everton have picked up.
Everton.
No.
I think
They're doing well.
And they wire mid-table
He has-
teams like Man U.
he
So
has-
be
he
careful.
has-
By the way, Andrew,
He has players on
which
form.
team do you belong to? You know, how-
Richarlison.
I know
Yeah.
the other
Calvert-Lewin,
ones, but
that boy
the
is on
Premier
fire.
League, which team do you support?
Oh, EPL. EPL. You don't know? Oh, okay.
No, the times on the show will now be 1 against 4 Man U supporters.
Very
What's that?
Yeah, he doesn't act like a
Yeah, he's
typical
more
Man U
objective.
fan.
Yeah. He has some objectivity compared to some Man U fans.
Wow,
He calls it as it is.
Thank you.
So I'm not this
He
fantastic.
doesn't sing.
Zambia, this is number 2.
What Man U wins.
This is number 2. All right.
Yeah, some objectivity. All right, Liverpool versus Watford. Now, Liverpool just need 4 more wins, German lady, right? Then they'll be crowned champions.
Oh,
All right, so we have one.
They are on course. They are on course.
The
The
coronation.
It's their league to lose.
The coronation might be happening at the ground where United will be, at the stadium that United will be losing tomorrow, which is also our second biggest rival in the league. I mean, Everton. Imagine that, being crowned champions at one of your fiercest rivals.
Everton would rather get relegated than help Liverpool win the league.
They celebrated being beaten by Man City last season.
They said if we beat Man City, we'll fire the coach.
Imagine.
They'd rather lose
They
to Man
sang
City.
songs like, you now have to believe it. You're never going to win the league. But they haven't won a trophy since 1995. But anyway, coming to the game tomorrow, it's absolutely astonishing. This Liverpool side, they might, for me, all season, they don't even seem like they've gone in second gear yet. An example is the game against West Ham. That's just, it shows how everything works in your favor when you're at the top. Because West Ham played absolutely brilliantly. I mean, Felipe Anderson.
I expected them to sit back.
They were coming at us, and it shocked Klopp a bit. They went ahead at Anfield, where we haven't lost since 2017, and they gave us a real tough game. Yeah, a tougher game than Man United. But coming to Watford, this is a team that's trying to survive relegation. They've got good enough quality to be in the top 10 when you talk about Delafeu, Abdoulaye Dokore, Troy Deeney. And it's really going to be a tough game because looking at the reverse fixture at Anfield, they probably deserved a point or three when we won 2-0, 2 goals from Mohamed Salah. And they really have the players that can hurt us. But coming to the prediction, things are just working in our favor. And if we win this game, we break the all-time record for consecutive wins, which are 19. We were going to break that against Manchester United at Old Trafford, but they drew against us and celebrated that and thought we wouldn't break it.
The record is 18.
Yeah, it's 18, but breaking it is going to be 19. So, yeah. I think I can leave it to Vajeri.
All right, Jerry, to cap it off.
Do you have enough time, Lorenzo? This Liverpool team is breaking all the records. Like you said, if they win one more game, it's the consecutive wins record of 19, currently held by Man City. So Liverpool is at 18.
Bored. I'll run through La Liga. You'll talk about El Clasico.
Thank you.
We're joined
with Man City. If Liverpool wins the next home game again, they break their own record of 21 consecutive home wins. If they win 4, then they win the league. It would be one of the earliest wins ever.
March.
Yeah, winning the league in March, unheard of. Huh?
Yeah, and then
they've won 26 out of 27.
The Premier League is competitive. Come on.
And then if they win, is it 5 more? They equal Arsenal's record.
Yeah.
So this team is just breaking all these records, and everything is rolling against West Ham, as you said. It was looking a bit dicey at some stage. The Hammers equalized and then took the lead. So people like Emmanuel are praying that the Hammers hold on. But unfortunately,
West Ham is a useless team. I was so hard. Played so well.
We scored 2 goals, 2 late goals. Sadio Mane.
Like you said, when it's your season, it's your season, man. As in, Liverpool had no business winning that match. When the better side for 90 minutes. But quality is always good to show its head, and Mane coming up with the goods. Unfortunately, West Ham couldn't get the points, but they put up a good fight for sure. I'm hating, but you
can't take it away from us.
You have to give credit to Liverpool. Yeah.
And as the young man Mapalwa said, Watford will be a tough game. I mean, they're desperate. They want to remain in the Premier League, so they'll give it everything. Hopefully, we'll score and keep a clean sheet and still win to break that record.
One more staggering statistic. Remember when I called Roberto Firmino the Road Warrior? One staggering statistic is he hasn't scored at Anfield for 10 months. That's just crazy.
Scores away.
Yes. He gets winning goals.
And he doesn't score often, but his contribution, it's massive.
Is the link.
He links up play
from midfield,
all these depth touches.
Anyway,
you guys are over the moon, eh?
No, I think for the second half of the show, when Liverpool fans are here, let's just know so some of us don't come. So we don't have to listen to them gloats. For the second half, look at Jerry's face. This smile is pissing me off.
And then Atletico Madrid were waiting for them in the second leg of the Champions League. We'll see them at Anfield in It's a 3 weeks time.
Let's go to the Clasico.
2 weeks.
Wagwan Clasico. Let's go.
All right, so let me run through the fixtures and then we do the Clasico. Starting with you, Emmanuel. So Eibar play Levante. Then we have Valencia playing Real Betis at Estadio de Mestalla. Leganes play Deportivo Alaves at 19:30. Then at 22, Granada play Celta de Vigo. All right, then Sunday, Sevilla play Osasuna at the Estadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. Athletic Bilbao at the San Mamés Barria will be at home to Villarreal. Then Atletico de Madrid play out to Espanyol at the RCDE Stadium. Mallorca play Getafe at Iberosta Estadi. Then Real Madrid play Barcelona at El Bernabeu in the Clásico of this year, the first Clásico of the year 2020. And Emmanuel would like to give you a cue here. From a neutral's perspective, what do you read into this game? Kika Setien in the one dugout, his opposite number Zidane, definitely having sleepless nights ahead of this Clásico, Derby El Clásico.
Madrid, 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 Real Madrid.
This is Messi's game.
Woo! All right, guys, listen. I'm going for Real Madrid on this one. The reason is Real Madrid they're like a wounded animal right now.
Pretty much wounded.
Oh my
Wounded
God.
Buffalo.
Man City snatched their pride. I mean, late goals. It was like, where do we go from here? You know, Real Madrid really put on a very good display against Manchester City.
It's a pity those goals came late.
You know, those came so late, and you know how Champions League away goes. It's just a English is hard. It's a hopeless tie right now.
Demoralizing.
Demoralizing. Thank you.
The way Man U demoralizes fans sometimes.
Okay. So, you know, going into the second leg is going to be a really hard, you know, upward battle for Real Madrid. But I think, you know, this Clásico is going to be a very interesting one because Real Madrid, like I said, they're a wounded animal and they're coming for blood. Barcelona have to play out their mind to stop these guys for winning this game because I think they have the goods, they have the players, they have the motivation right now. I think Barcelona are still short-handed with their striker incapabilities. Messi is still the one trying to create everything and score the goals, but the striker they just signed, I don't think is
Braithwaite.
is up to par. You know, with the classical.
And outside the transfer window, they've got a funny rule.
No, that's just.
I need security guards to go and arrest people in Barcelona because I don't understand how they pulled that off. It's never happened. I've never heard of it before. I mean, this guy is still playing for his club. They're trying to fight for a place back in the league. Thank you. And you snatch this boy out. Obviously, you know he wants to play for Barcelona.
Yeah,
I think it was very unfair, but you know. I really favor Real Madrid on this one.
What a rule.
Not because Lorenzo is looking at me like, Emmanuel, please be on my side for this one. But because I see them coming with a lot of, you know, vengeance in their eyes.
And a lot of blood.
Yes.
On their hands.
They will come big for
So
it.
Madrid have only won, is it one game in the last 5 or so? I saw a statistic like that. They're not doing so well.
No,
Yeah,
they
it
stopped
needed
them
to be
one
counter
league.
checked.
Yeah.
All right, maybe it could be true anyway. All right, but Jerry, Andrew, and Mapalo, what a game we have in our hands in La Liga. The world will actually tilt on its head at 22 hours tomorrow when these two behemoths of European football.
Wow, Lorenzo.
You know, Madrid have got, have had so many chances to actually break away. Barcelona would drop points. They also
don't
drop
take
points.
them.
Barcelona draw, they also draw. So by this time, they should have been maybe 5 or 6 points
6,
ahead.
7
But it's
points
like,
ahead,
they haven't really seized that opportunity.
And Barcelona have had a lot of injuries as well.
Yeah.
Suarez to Dembele.
Yeah.
Real Madrid hasn't really taken advantage.
So Suarez is not playing tomorrow?
I think
No,
still-
long term.
It's maybe out
He had
of the
an
season.
operation.
It's not bad, you know.
Ah, he's happy.
There's Messi.
the changing
Messi.
probably the changing
Arturo.
of coaches has affected Barca a little bit.
Right.
And for that coach to settle down and try and stabilize, you know, his relationship with the
Griezmann.
players, it
Antoine
will
Griezmann.
take a bit of time. So definitely Real Madrid have got an upper hand against Barca.
Yes, sir.
But you know that these derbies, they are in a class of their own. So much as we can talk about all these obstacles, you find that on the day, Barcelona is just a different.
And home ground advantage doesn't really count.
Yeah.
I remember there was a season when Madrid went, I don't know how many matches unbeaten.
Yeah.
Then they met Barcelona at the Bernabeu and we were thinking, okay, now they'll beat them and then go on to win the league. And then they were hammered. I think it was under Mourinho. I think 5-0 or something. And that's how Barcelona went on to win the league. Is history about to repeat itself?
I doubt. I really doubt. All right. Talking about the Italian Serie A. All right.
Yes, that's what I'm about to say. When Lorenzo was like the greatest, the most mighty, no classico, no game better.
Inter Juve.
That's a big game as well.
Yeah, that is where we're going now. The Il Campionato. Lazio plays Bologna at the Stadio Olimpico. Then La Viola, Fiorentina, will be away to Udinese at the Dacia Arena. Then at the San Paolo, Napoli play Torino. Sunday sees Internazionale Milan play Genoa at the San Siro. Then Sassuolo play Brescia.
That's AC Milan against Genoa.
Yes, AC Milan against Genoa. Then Parma play Società Polisportiva at 16 hours. Then Lecce will be at home to Atalanta. And then at the Sagadina Arena, Cagliari play AS Roma. Then we do have Juventus, La Vecchia Signora,
What a game!
against the Nerazzurri Internazionale. 21-45. What a game!
And just
Ladies
like
and
Madrid,
Uh-huh.
Juventus also lost in the Champions League. Against the odds, we're thinking, come on.
Yeah,
Olympic
Lyon, and then they ended up pulling off a surprise 1-0
So
win.
in this game, it's Mauricio Sarri versus
Antonio Conte.
Yeah. What a game we
Just
have.
just coming to that game. Midweek, mixed fortunes. Inter Milan in the Europa League, beating CFR Cluj
Is that a
2-1.
smaller cup for teams like Man United and
that's
oh,
CFR Cluj. They beat CFR Cluj 2-1 after leading 4-1 on aggregate, and Olympic Lyon did away with the Italian Serie A leaders. For the first time, probably in a long time, we see three teams competing for the Serie A, with Lazio also doing well, and it's going to be an interesting tie at the Allianz Stadium. We'll see how Antonio Conte comes up to it, but with his new recruitments, the Ashley Youngs, the Victor Moses, and everyone, they seem to do well in the Serie A, and Ashley Young was a laughingstock at United, but here he's been scoring goals. Yes. So it's going to be interesting. We know Antonio.
If you ask me, was mispositioned.
Antonio Conte is a serial winner, won 3 in a row with Juventus. He sort of raised their game, and they'll know him well. They respect him. We'll see how Lukaku comes up against it. We've seen Milan.
Even Lukaku is scoring so many goals.
Inter Milan
after being discarded.
have
Wrong decision, if you ask me. Wrong
Yeah.
decision from Man U.
The reason against some teams they beat their nearest rivals, the ones they share a stadium with, 4-2 after leading, and they only slipped against Lazio. Yeah, but it's going to be an interesting game. I want to leave space for Emmanuel because it looks like he's got something to say.
No, we don't want to hear Mapalo anymore. Be quiet, Mapalo. Because I don't know how he managed to analyze Inter with Juve and Man United came like 5 times. Quiet.
So how did Man
No,
United
here is how the game is going to play out. Like how the first leg played out. You know, I think Juventus are just going to use experience to absolutely, dominate the midfield. We lost our heads in midfield against Lyon. Sorry, didn't get his team properly.
What do you mean we?
Oh yeah, you
No, listen, I'm a Ronaldo fan.
You've given up on Man United. Come on.
I'm a Ronaldo fanatic, so I support you.
After singing a Man United when you came, now it's giving up on them.
I support you as well. No, but I think if we start the game, with our experienced midfielders in Pjanic, Rabiot needs to sit down. That guy is giving me a headache this season. He's maybe because he hasn't played in ages. Costa is so injury prone. I mean, he plays like 3 games and goes for the 2 months injury. I mean, that guy needs revelation and Christ.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Costa's problem is, but he's out as well. But I just think if you can win the midfield against Inter Milan, they're nullified, because that means Lukaku won't get the ball. He'll be able to feed it to Lautaro Martinez, who's also a very dangerous striker this season. And I think Conte's team is still trying to gel. Yeah, they're doing well, but you can see that they're making silly mistakes because these guys haven't played together for a while. I mean, Ashley Young and Victor Moses are starters, and they just came in January, so it's going to take some time for them to properly gel. So I think Juventus, when it comes to team chemistry, yes, they're not where they're supposed to be, but they'll have a lot of experience. Chiellini is back. I'm so happy. A very solid defender. He's a veteran. He's someone that knows how to play big games like this. So
Mhm.
I'm going to give Juventus the upper hand against Inter Milan.
Let another team win the title. They've been winning
No,
it for is it
Nah,
seven, nine,
until
whatever it is.
retires, then they can win their title.
But when we say there's no competition in other leagues,
There's competition in
there's
every league
fights
right now.
everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's only in England where you can't predict the
I'm
team that
telling
is
you.
going to win.
No, we
Everywhere
can
else you
predict.
play.
No, we can
Everywhere
predict.
else you
Liverpool is going to win.
Yeah,
For
but
this season,
this
yes.
season alone, yeah.
Yeah, so it's changed now.
But for the other seasons, did we know that
That time we could see that Man City
Wolves
would win it.
would be fighting for
No,
for
Champions League.
Champions
because
League
it
football?
was possible that Liverpool won it last season. So no, we didn't think. You guys,
But the other season when they broke records.
please, Premier League should not be compared to any league. Man City
Why?
literally won the league last season on the last day.
Yeah.
With the points, bro.
Yeah.
I will never give Liverpool credit, but I'm giving you credit right now. So take it. Do not compare Premier League
Please
to any
take
league.
it.
Yes, we're taking a break this
Coming
season.
from Emmanuel,
Premier
I
League.
always take it.
Thank you. Premier League is taking a break this season. You see Leicester there in a place where they have no business being because everybody's just trash this season. Chelsea is playing horrible. I mean, destroyed by Bayern Munich. Bayern United is
3-0 at home.
Never
It
Johnson.
was a lesson.
See what Tottenham is doing. They're not embarrassing going up and down.
They have no strikers.
Everybody is tired in the Premier League. We're taking a break. This is our festive period in Premier League. Next season I believe we'll be back, but this season, please,
You want to
We're
say
in a
that
cold
next season
crowd.
will be back.
Why
Next season will be
right
back.
off? No,
Right, we need a striker.
All right, that is all we had. Pretty much an exciting show. We really want to appreciate. All right, Lucy, in conclusion, really, we can't get our last pick of the pick and look out for the weekend in the interest of time. But maybe just summing it up, it's certainly been a gas.
It's been a gas, and thank you very much to Sydney
Mungala
from FAS. I think he came in and just confirmed, clarified a lot of issues. I just hope that our listeners, they benefited, well informed, and to the guys in the studios, you guys have been great. Abena Milambo, Mufurira Wanderers, United, there you are. So it's been
Ex-United,
gas,
now
guys.
Juventus.
It's been a gas.
And Real Madrid.
Support 3 teams. Manchester United, Juventus, and Zesco.
Already looking
You used to support
Zega
Yes.
forever.
The fallen giants.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, Jerry!
All right, so I'd like to appreciate each one of you that took time to catch us via radio and
The
conventional
callers.
means. The callers as well, Bazega, Bazesko for
Yes.
calling in. And those of you, absolutely. And those of you that were catching us via YouTube, we'd like to appreciate you. Please, if you didn't catch us via YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Lorenzo Entertainment TV. Hit the red subscribe button. All right, we're definitely giving you an awful lot of stuff coming off the channel. It's been a gas, and we appreciate every one of you that contributed.
Very true.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, it's mejores amigos para siempre. At this juncture, we have to say,
Lights out.
Go